Hi, I'm Eric Siegel with Kitbashed Survival, and today I want to show you something cool with this knife. This is a Hogue EX-F01, and it has a really cool survival kit type feature built into it. But in order to understand it, I want to show you something else first, just to give it some context. So this is another knife that I have. This is a Becker BK2 Companion. This is a very popular knife, but what I'm about to show you is not unique to the BK2. Most bushcraft survival type knives have this feature. So you'll notice that on the BK2 we've got these scales on either side of the tang. And what I want to do is show you something when we take off the scales. So let me go ahead and remove the scales. It'll just take a moment. And I am not right-handed, so this is not comfortable, but I gotta wrap myself around the camera, and this is the only way to do it. Okay, so when I remove the scales, or one of the scales, you can see that there's some space in here. If I take the other scale away, you can see that they've got some gaps in the tang there. And this is normal. You see this a lot on these type of knives. So one day when I was looking at one of these, I thought, you know, it'd be really cool. You could actually put some survival kit type items in that space and close it up in the handle. Wouldn't that be cool? But of course, the downside of that would be that it would be really hard to get access to those items because, of course, you'd have to have the wrench over here to open up the scales and get at the survival kit items. And in a survival type situation, you typically don't have a lot of tools with you. So I thought, well, that's a good idea, but it wouldn't really be practical. So now let me show you the Hogue EX-F01 again. And let's go ahead and get it out of the sheath. Now the EX-F01 is an outstanding knife. It's over $200. It is extremely high quality. I could do a review just on the knife itself, but I'm sure other people have on YouTube, so I'm not going to review the knife itself. You can watch other videos for that, but suffice to say, this is an outstanding, excellent knife. Now, what Hogue has done is they've solved the problem of storing stuff in the handle because they've actually stashed a little wrench right here in the handle. So if we pull that wrench out, there it is. And now we can undo these nuts and open up the handle. And again, I am not right-handed, so this is not easy. Okay, so if I remove this scale, look at that. We've got some space to store some gear in there. So now let's go ahead and put some survival gear in this space, and then we'll close it back up. Okay, so obviously there's not a whole lot of room here, but let's see what we can get into this little space. So up here, I'm going to put 2 pieces of tinder, this cotton tinder. And then in this rear compartment, I'm going to put this small ferro rod. And then I'm going to try to get some water purification tablets in here. So here they are. There's 2 per pack. I'm going to try to put 2 packets in here. Probably have to fold them up really tight. There's 1. There's 2. Okay. And then I'm also going to put a couple little pieces of fat wood in here if I can. Fat wood is great for starting fires, so I'll wedge one of those in with the tinder. And maybe I can wedge one in back here somewhere. Let's see. It's going to be a really tight fit, but hopefully we'll be able to get it all in there. Okay. All right, now of course you could put other stuff in here if you want, but this is just what I picked. It seemed to fit tightly and it won't rattle around, and gives you the ability to make some fire and purify some water, which is always important in a survival situation. So we've got the stuff in there. Now we'll just pop the top back on and drop these 3 screws in there again. And we'll use our little handy wrench to tighten the screws down. So I'll just do it lengthwise like this just to get them in there. Get them snug, and then I'll go horizontal like this and give them a nice tight turn. And of course, we don't want to forget our little wrench. Goes back in there. And there we go. This is really cool, I gotta say. I mean, you know, it's not a whole lot of gear in there, but it's certainly better than nothing, and it's really cool how they've integrated the wrench into the handle so that you can remove the scales if you have to. Very cool. And again, this is the Hogue EX-F01, an outstanding knife. If you have the money and you can afford one of these, I definitely recommend getting one. Go ahead and put it back in the sheath, left-handed style. So there it is. Again, this is the Hogue EX-F01 with the survival kit compartment in the handle. Very cool. Anyway, that's it for now. I'm Eric Siegel with Kitbashed Survival, and I'll see you next time.